assistance to our communities at the expense of young kids who are starving in another part of the world. So I hope my colleagues will recognize this amendment is not the right way to approach this. It would have a negligible impact on our budget deficit, but its real impact on our security would be enormous.
Madam President.
Senator from Louisiana.
I know the vote has been scheduled to call, but I ask unanimous consent there be up to 2 minutes equally divided prior to the amendment votes and 4 minutes equally divided prior to final passage.
Is there objection? No objection, so ordered. Who yields time? Who yields time?
Madam President, how much time before the vote?
2 minutes.
Okay, then I'd like to speak if I could then. I thought the time was out. Madam President, in just a few minutes, besides the 2 amendments that have been debated extensively this afternoon, and I want to thank the senator from Massachusetts for his strong objection to one of the amendments and the eloquent way in which he expressed the feelings of so many of us that will be voting with Senator Kerry against the Rand amendment, the Paul amendment. Let me just put this up, as I've been using this all week. The underlying bill that we'll be voting on in just a few minutes will give the Senate the opportunity to vote for disaster relief now. It's the only vehicle available to us in the Senate to vote for relatively full disaster relief for the year 2012 now. So I want people to realize as they're considering how they're going to vote, because we received 61 votes on the same. I understand we're out of time. I'll speak later again, but again, it gives us an opportunity to vote for disaster relief now, and I understand we're out of time. Thank you, Madam President.
Who yields time in opposition?
Yeas and nays.
Who yields time in opposition?
Ask consent time and ask for the yeas and nays.
Is there objection? Without objection, all time is yielded back. Is there a sufficient second? There appears to be. Clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Akaka, Mr. Alexander, Ms. Ayotte, Mr. Barrasso, Mr. Baucus, Mr. Begich, Mr. Bennett, Mr. Bingaman, Mr. Blumenthal, Mr. Blunt, Mr. Bozeman, Mrs. Boxer, Mr. Brown of Massachusetts, Mr. Brown of Ohio, Mr. Burr, Ms. Cantwell, Mr. Cardin, Mr. Carper, Mr. Casey, Mr. Chambliss, Mr. Coates, Mr. Coburn, Mr. Cochran, Ms. Collins, Mr. Conrad, Mr. Coons, Mr. Corker, Mr. Cornyn, Mr. Crapo, Mr. Dement, Mr. Durbin, Mr. Enzi, Mrs. Feinstein, Mr. Franken, Mrs. Gillibrand, Mr. Graham, Mr. Grassley, Mrs. Hagan, Mr. Harkin, Mr. Hatch, Mr. Heller, Mr. Hoeven, Mrs. Hutchison, Mr. Inhofe, Mr. Inouye, Mr. Isaacson, Mr. Johans, Mr. Johnson of Wisconsin, Mr. Johnson of South Dakota, Mr. Kerry, Mr. Kirk, Ms. Klobuchar, Mr. Cole, Mr. Kyle, Ms. Landrieu, Mr. Lautenberg, Mr. Leahy, Mr. Lee, Mr. Levin, Mr. Lieberman, Mr. Lugar, Mr. Manchin, Mr. McCain, Mrs. McCaskill, Mr. McConnell, Mr. McConnell, Mr. Menendez, Mr. Merkley, Ms. Mikulski, Mr. Moran, Ms. Murkowski, Mrs. Murray, Mr. Nelson of Nebraska, Mr. Nelson of Florida, Mr. Paul, Mr. Portman, Mr. Pryor, Mr. Reed of Rhode Island, Mr. Reed of Nevada, Mr. Risch, Mr. Roberts, Mr. Rockefeller, Mr. Rubio, Mr. Sanders, Mr. Schumer, Mr. Sessions, Mrs. Shaheen, Mr. Shelby, Ms. Snow, Ms. Stabenow, Mr. Tester, Mr. Thune, Mr. Toomey, Mr. Udall of Colorado, Mr. Udall of New Mexico, Mr. Vitter, Mr. Warner, Mr. Webb, Mr. Whitehouse, Mr. Wicker, Mr. Wyden. Senators voting in the affirmative: Baucus, Brown of Massachusetts, Isaacson, Kyle, McCaskill, and Rubio. Senators voting in the negative: Kerry, Levin, Murray, Stabenow, Udall of New Mexico, and Whitehouse. Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee, aye. Mr. Tester. Mr. Tester, aye. Mr. Begich. Mr. Begich, no. Mr. Johans. Mr. Johans, aye. Mr. Conrad. Mr. Conrad, no. Mr. Paul.
Yes.
Mr. Paul, aye. Ms. Ayotte, aye. Mr. Crapo. Mr. Crapo, aye. Mr. Burr. Mr. Burr, aye. Mrs. Boxer. Mrs. Boxer, no. Mr. Franken. Mr. Franken, no. Mr. Blumenthal, no. Ms. Landrieu, no. Mr. McConnell. Mr. McConnell, aye. Mr. Vitter. Mr. Vitter, aye. Mr. Dement. Mr. Dement, aye. Mr. Cornyn. Mr. Cornyn, aye. Mr. Bingaman. Mr. Bingaman, no. Mr. Grassley. Mr. Grassley, aye. Mr. Coburn. Mr. Coburn. Aye. Mr. Sessions. Mr. Sessions. Aye. Mr. Enzi. Mr. Enzi. Aye. Mr. Lugar. Mr. Lugar. Aye. Mr. Chambliss. Mr. Chambliss. Aye. Mr. Casey. Mr. Casey, no. Mr. Coons. Mr. Coons, no. Ms. Cantwell. Ms. Cantwell, no. Mr. Leahy. Mr. Leahy, no. Mr. Johnson of Wisconsin, aye. Mr. Merkley. Mr. Merkley, no. Mr. Sanders. Mr. Sanders, no. Mr. Reed. Mr. Reed of Nevada, no. Ms. Collins. Ms. Collins, aye. Mr. Wicker, aye. Mr. Barrasso. Mr. Barrasso, aye. Mr. Risch. Mr. Risch, aye. Mr. Lieberman. Mr. Lieberman, no. Mr. Akaka. Mr. Akaka, no. Mr. Wyden. Mr. Wyden, no. Mr. McCain. Mr. McCain, Aye. Mr. Pryor? No. Mr. Thune? Mr. Thune? Aye. Mr. Blunt? Yes. Mr. Blunt? Aye. Mr. Nelson of Nebraska? Aye. Mrs. Feinstein? Mrs. Feinstein? No. Ms. Snow? Ms. Snow? Aye. Mr. Durbin? Mr. Durbin? No. Mrs. Hutchison? Mrs. Hutchison? Aye. Mrs. Gillibrand? Mrs. Gillibrand? No. Mr. Inhofe? Mr. Inhofe? Aye. Mr. Carper? Mr. Carper? No. Mr. Toomey? Mr. Toomey? Aye. Mr. Harkin? Mr. Harkin? No. Mrs. Hagan? No. Mr. Hoven? Mr. Hoven? Aye. Mr. Portman? Mr. Portman? Aye. Coates? Mr. Coates? Aye. Mr. Heller? Mr. Heller? Aye. Mr. Warner? No. Mr. Webb? Mr. Webb? Aye. Mr. Rockefeller? Mr. Rockefeller? No. Mr. Alexander? Mr. Alexander? Aye. Mr. Bozeman? Mr. Bozeman? Aye. Mr. Brown of Ohio? No. Mr. Graham? Mr. Graham? Aye. Mr. Hatch? Mr. Hatch? Aye. Ms. Murkowski? Ms. Murkowski? Aye. Mr. Cochran? Mr. Cochran? Aye. Mr. Cardin? Mr. Cardin? No. Mr. Lautenberg? Mr. Lautenberg? No. Mr. Shelby? Mr. Shelby? Aye. Mr. Menendez? Mr. Menendez? No. Mr. Reed? Mr. Reed of Rhode Island? No. Mr. Kirk? Mr. Kirk? Aye. Ms. Mikulski? Ms. Mikulski? No. Mr. Schumer? Mr. Schumer? No. Mr. Nelson of Florida? Mr. Nelson of Florida? No. Mr. Corker? Mr. Corker? Aye. Mr. Inouye? Mr. Inouye? No. Mr. Roberts? Aye. Mr. Moran? Mr. Moran? Aye. Mr. Bennett. Mr. Bennett, no. Mr. Johnson of South Dakota, no. Mr. Manchin? Aye. Ms. Klobuchar? Aye. Mr. Udall. Mr. Udall of Colorado, no. Mrs. Shaheen, no. Any senators in the chamber wishing to vote or change their vote?
Are there any senators in the chamber who wish to vote or to change their vote? On this vote, the yeas are 54, the nays are 45. Under the previous order requiring 60 votes for the adoption of this amendment, the amendment is not agreed to. Under the previous order, there are now 2 minutes of debate on the Paul Amendment, number 613. Who yields time? Could we have order? Could we please have order? The senator from Vermont is going to speak. Could we please have order? Could we please have order? The senator from Vermont.
Madam President, we are not in order. This is going to be a very short debate. I'd like to be heard.
Could we please have order? We are not going to have the debate until there's order in the chamber.
I know it. Madam President,
Senator from Vermont.
I'd also ask consent to be an additional minute for Senator Graham, Lindsey Graham, Speaker this minute.
Is there objection? So ordered.
Madam President, my state was devastated by Hurricane Irene. I'm going to do everything possible to help Vermonters get the aid they needed. but I strongly oppose the amendment offered by the junior senator from Kentucky. First, it's a terrible idea to cut critical national security programs to offset funding for emergency disasters. It would set a precedent that make it infinitely harder to help our states cope with these crises, whether it's Katrina, or whether it's earthquakes, or no matter what it is. Disasters.
Thank you. Senator from Vermont.
Disasters strike unexpectedly. The funding to recover and rebuild is not built into the budget. They strike Republican and Democratic states alike. And to say in this, well, why don't we cut out our State Department, our embassies, so we cut out the aid that the United States is giving to Haiti? We live in a global economy. This amendment makes no sense.
The senator from South Carolina, could we please have order? This is a very important matter. Could we please have order? Senator from South Carolina.
Thank you, Madam President. This is very important. We're broke at home, and there are a lot of things we could and should be doing for our states. I want to try to get our fiscal house in order, but we have to defend this country. The Foreign Operations Account is national security in another form. If you just don't want to always bomb people, you need to help some people help themselves. And the money in this account will allow people to stand up against terrorism and do things that America has been doing for a long time, and that's helping people who really would be better off for the experience and have a kindness toward us. And if you think Israel needs a friend now, this would hurt our relationship in terms of support to Israel. So all of those in this body who want to make sure Israel gets the right message at a time of need, please vote against this amendment, because it will hurt our relationship.
Who yields time? The senator from Kentucky is recognized.
I think we ought to make just one clarification of fact. Israel gets all their foreign aid in the beginning of the year. They get it differently than any other country. This amendment will not affect any funding to Israel. This funding will take away a percentage. It's about 10% of foreign aid. Foreign aid or welfare is opposed by 77% of Americans. And even if you thought it was a good idea to give welfare to foreign countries, you don't have it. So you're borrowing this money from China, or you're printing it up and you're adding to the debt. Our country faces a debt crisis. We are borrowing $40,000 a second, and I think it's unwise when bridges are falling down and being closed in Louisville, Kentucky, to send money to other countries, particularly money we're borrowing and printing. I urge the support to eliminate the 10% of foreign aid. I think it's a very reasonable proposal.
Under the previous order, the question is on the Paul Amendment, number 613. Is there a sufficient second? There appears to be. The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Akaka. Mr. Alexander. Ms. Ayotte, Mr. Barrasso, Mr. Baucus, Mr. Bekich. Mr. Bekich, Mr. Bennett, Mr. Bingaman, Mr. Blumenthal, Mr. Blunt, Mr. Bozeman, Mrs. Boxer,
Mr. Brown of Massachusetts, Mr. Brown of Ohio, Mr. Burr, Ms. Cantwell, Mr. Cardin, Mr. Carper, Mr. Casey, Mr. Chambliss, Mr. Coates, Mr. Coburn, Mr. Cochran, Ms. Collins, Mr. Conrad, Mr. Coons, Mr. Corker, Mr. Cornyn, Mr. Crapo, Mr. Dement, Mr. Durbin, Mr. Enzi, Mrs. Feinstein, Mr. Franken, Mrs. Gillibrand, Mr. Graham, Mr. Grassley, Mrs. Hagan, Mr. Harkin, Mr. Hatch, Mr. Heller, Mr. Hoven, Mrs. Hutchison, Mr. Inhofe, Mr. Inouye, Mr. Isaacson, Mr. Johans, Mr. Johnson of Wisconsin, Mr. Johnson of South Dakota, Mr. Carey, Mr. Kirk, Ms. Klobuchar, Mr. Cole, Mr. Kyle, Ms. Landrieu, Mr. Lautenberg, Mr. Leahy, Mr. Lee, Mr. Levin, Mr. Lieberman, Mr. Lugar, Mr. Manchin, Mr. McCain, Mrs. McCaskill, Mr. McConnell, Mr. Menendez, Mr. Merkley, Ms. Mikulski, Mr. Moran, Ms. Murkowski, Mrs. Murray, Mr. Nelson, Nebraska, Mr. Nelson of Florida, Mr. Paul, Mr. Portman, Mr. Pryor, Mr. Reed of Rhode Island, Mr. Reed of Nevada. Mr. Risch. Mr. Roberts. Mr. Rockefeller. Mr. Rubio. Mr. Sanders. Mr. Schumer. Mr. Sessions. Mrs. Shaheen. Mr. Shelby. Ms. Snow. Ms. Stabenow. Mr. Tester. Mr. Thune. Mr. Toomey. Mr. Udall of Colorado. Mr. Udall of New Mexico. Mr. Vitter. Mr. Warner. Mr. Webb. Mr. Whitehouse. Mr. Wicker. Mr. Wyden. Senators voting in the affirmative: Burr, Coburn, DeMint, Enzi, Grassley, Hutcherson, Lee, Nelson, Nebraska, Paul, Sessions, Shelby, Thune, Toomey, and Vitter. Senators voting in the negative: Akaka, Alexander, Ayotte, Beckidge, Bennett, Blumenthal, Blunt, Bozeman, Boxer, Brown of Massachusetts, Brown of Ohio, Cantwell, Cardin, Carper, Casey, Collins, Coons, Corker, Cornyn, Feinstein, Franken, Gillibrand, Graham, Harkin, Hatch, Hoeven, Inhofe, Inouye, Isaacson, Johans, Johnson of South Dakota, Kirk, Klobuchar, Kyle, Landrieu, Lautenberg, Leahy, Lieberman, Lugar, Manchin, McCain, McCaskill, McConnell, Menendez, Murkowski, Nelson of Florida, Portman, Pryor, Reed of Nevada, Rockefeller, Rubio, Sanders, Shaheen, Tester, Udall of Colorado, Udall of New Mexico, Warner, Webb, Whitehouse, and Wyden. Mr. Bingaman? Mr. Bingaman, no. Mr. Johnson of Wisconsin, aye. Mr. Cochran? Mr. Cochran, no. Mrs. Murray? Mrs. Murray, no. Mr. Reed of Rhode Island? Mr. Reed of Rhode Island, no. Mr. Baucus? Mr. Baucus, no. Ms. Mikulski? No. Mr. Crapo? No. Mr. Risch? No. Mr. Coates? No. Moran? Mr. Moran, aye. Mr. Chambliss, no. Mr. Barrasso, aye. Mr. Roberts, aye. Mr. Carey, no. Mr. Wicker, aye. Mr. Merkley, no. Mr. Inhofe, aye. Mr. Schumer, no. Mrs. Hagan, no. Ms. Snow, no. Mr. Durbin, no.
Are we on then?
Ms. Stabenow. Ms. Stabenow, no.
Here's Levin.
Mr. Levin? Mr. Levin, no. Mr. Conrad? Mr. Conrad? Mr. Conrad, no.
Are there any senators who wish to vote or to change their vote? Could we please have order? On this vote, the yeas are 20, the nays are 78. Under the previous order requiring 60 votes for the adoption of this amendment, the amendment is not agreed to.
Madam
The
President,
Majority Leader is
could we have
recognized.
order, please?
Could we please have order for the Majority Leader? Thank
Before I
you.
recite the unanimous consent agreement that I hope will be approved, what we intend to do is have vote on final passage of the bill now before us, 10 minutes of debate. There will be two votes on two amendments and then final passage. So we have 4 more votes, and we should be finished. And I want to express my appreciation to everyone. You will note in my last 2 speeches that I made before the Senate yesterday and today, I said a lot of nice things about Republicans. The reason being is that's how we have accomplished a lot. We got a decent bill from the House, and we've been able to move forward on this legislation. The Republican leader, I had quite a long conversation here in the well. We've got a lot of work to do here that we want to do together. And so the cooperation we've had this week by both Democrats and Republicans has been extremely important. Madam President, I ask unanimous consent that a time be determined by me after consultation with the Republican leader, the Senate proceed to consideration of calendar 167, that the only first-degree amendments in order to the bill be the following, the text of which are at the desk. Paul regarding limitation of highway trust funds, Paul regarding FAA funding levels, that there be up to 10 minutes for debate on the amendments and the bill be equally divided between Senators Paul and the Majority Leader or their designees. prior to votes in relation to the amendments in the order listed, that there be no amendments in order to any of the amendments prior to the votes, that the amendments be subject to a 60-vote threshold. Upon disposition of the amendments, the Senate proceed to vote on a passage of the bill as amended if amended, that there be no other amendments, points of order, or motions ordered to the bill other than the budget points of order, and the applicable motions are waived, and the motion to reconsider be considered made and laid on the table.
Is there objection? Without objection, so ordered. Under the previous order, there are now 2 minutes of debate on the Reid Amendment number 602. Who yields time? Could we please have order? The senator from Louisiana is recognized. Could we please have order before she speaks? Senator from Louisiana.
Madam President, I'd like to speak, of course, for final passage, and I'd like to speak last. Is there anyone that wants to speak in opposition?
Is there someone to speak in opposition?
If not, then I'll go ahead and take the time to close. Madam President, I want to say thank you to several members, many members on my side that have helped this week to clarify this issue and to build support for disaster funding for the 48 states that are currently experiencing devastation. I want to thank members on the other side of the aisle, particularly Senators Blunt, Senators Vitter, Senator Rubio, others, Senator Snowe, that have lent their voice and their vote to help us get to this point. And I particularly want to thank Senator Blunt for spending 15 minutes on the floor today saying how crucial this is to his state of Missouri, but to the whole country. And I want to thank the members on my side, Senators Leahy and Senator Schumer and Kay Hagan and others that have helped so much this week, Senator Shaheen that has been at all the press conference, Senator Sanders. Now, let me say that this is the only vehicle that we have before us to do long-term, full funding for the disaster relief. This bill will provide help to Nebraska, to Minot, North Dakota, to New York, to the East Coast, to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Joplin, Missouri. If we don't vote for this, the DERF funding will be empty. This money gives us not only additional funding for disaster relief, but it also provides an additional $1.1 billion for the Corps of Engineers and funding for a few other programs that are essential to rebuilding. Do we have 4 minutes?
You have 2 minutes, Senator.
Well, I'd like to take another 30 seconds.
Their objection? Allowed.
Since there's no opposition, I'd like to take that's going to speak. So I'd like to take those 2 minutes as well. Madam President, this is a very important vote. I know that there are some people that think we should have gone through a regular process. The last time we went through a regular process with individual votes coming to the floor by October 1st was 1994. It's 2011. As the appropriator, the chair of this committee, I knew that that was not a way to go to bring quick relief to disaster victims that need help. So the standalone approach, sending a strong vote from the Senate today, will help us negotiate with the House. They have a different idea. I happen not to agree with their idea. They are entitled to their own idea. We're entitled to our own idea. With Democrats and Republicans voting yes on this Burma sanctions bill, we can send reliable, long-term funding. And in closing, let me tell you what the alternative is if you vote no. If you vote no on this and think you can go home and tell your people you helped them, you're going to be faced next week with a vote to give your people 6 weeks of disaster funding. That's how long the continuing resolution lasts. Believe me, having had to rebuild a good part of our state, you can't do it 6 weeks at a time. I strongly suggest you give a strong vote for disaster victims, long-term funding that they can rely on, and will negotiate with the House next week. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you.